ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
So before we go on with the new concepts of Java, and we'll be doing quite a lot of them soon, what I wanted to do today is talk about how are we going to use the Java Lab. Now traditionally the way we use Java Lab is you get a Java compiler, you get a JDK, install it on a PC, and then do your Java programs. While I'm sure that is a good way of learning JDK or the Java compilation, very often we have seen that students come to me and say that we have not been able to install JDK on my home PCs, and so we are not able to work with Java at home. That's a very common refrain. So Java, I'm able to do programming in college, but I'm not able to do Java programming at home. Now that they come and tell me after, let's say, 2 months into the course, and then my next question that comes up is then what have you been doing for the last 2 months at home in terms of Java programming? They say we have been just trying to install. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, and we are very sensitive to this point, and we say that there should be a way out of this situation where the student should not have to take the burden of installing and making it work and keeping it working. The second problem that comes up is that maybe not in the first session, but a few sessions down the line, students get problems with their Java programs. I mean, they're getting doubts, they're not able to proceed with a Java program, and then what happens is that they need assistance, and of course certain amount of assistance is available from the various colleges, but that over time we have seen is for various reasons, either the college infrastructure is not up to the mark or the right people are not available in the college. The student doesn't really get his Java doubts cleared. He basically just kind of gives up Java programming because he's not able to make progress. Now we have kept these two things in mind for creating something revolutionary as far as JNTU is concerned, as far as labs are concerned. And because we fundamentally believe that a person who is doing computer science or electronics or any of these branches, he should be a proficient Java compiler, and he should be able to access Java from his home. Now Java from home doesn't mean that Java is installed on his PC alone. That could be there, but we have a better way of doing it, as long as your home PC has a reasonably good internet connection. Now when we say reasonably good internet connection, it could be a 128 kilobits per second package, it could be a 256 kilobits per second package. We really don't worry too much about the speed if you want to use just this part of your Java package. But of course, if you need more interaction with our people, like the Professor on Call feature that we are introducing at KMIT, which is open not only to KMIT students but for anybody who is using the Java cloud created by KMIT, you're welcome, but you will require a certain amount of bandwidth. What I'm saying is, just to use the Java lab, you don't require too much bandwidth, but if you require our assistance in terms of Professor on Call and all, you need to have a wireless broadband connection. But before I get ahead of myself, let me explain what is it that we are doing as far as the Java lab is concerned. We are using the cloud. We are using very specifically the Amazon cloud. Amazon is the leader of cloud computing, which is, we are giving Java to you pre-installed on a machine which is installed in the cloud. So imagine there is something called an AMI. The Amazon cloud can have billions, and I'm not joking here, billions of machines running on the cloud. It has infinite capability. And what we have done is, for the students of KMIT and also for students who are keen to learn Java, we have created one virtual machine on. Now when we say virtual machine, please don't confuse this with the Java virtual machine. We have actually created an virtualized hardware, or think of it as if in the cloud, on the internet, available 24/7, maintained by Amazon. We have created what is called as an AMI, standing for Amazon Machine Instance, AMI, also called AMIs. We have created an AMI for the students of KMIT and other students of JNTU so that they can avail this instance. This is a Linux instance created using the Fedora Linux on the cloud, which means that this is available 24/7. Each of the student will be given his or her directory onto this Linux machine, where we expect him or her to create her Java programs, log into that directory and create her programs. So this is an instance which is hosted by Amazon Cloud. We are bringing this instance to you. So now let me build this scenario of how this whole story is going to happen. So let's say you are a student who is having a PC with internet connection. A PC with an internet connection. Now, what are you going to do? How are you going to get access to this instance? Well, there are a set of steps which we are going to go through, but I'm not going to go through all the steps. The steps are available on KMITtv.com. This is our TV website, official e-learning website. Under that website, if you go to My Lab, and under that lab, the moment you travel to that page, My Lab page, you will get a video and you will get a sign-in screen. The video will describe to you, it's my video, so I'll describe to you how the cloud gets used, what is the concept of the cloud, all that. So then there will be a sign-in process which will be on that My Lab page of the KMITtv.com website. You're expected to give in your details, your email, all that kind of stuff. And once you do that, basically, what we will send you is a kind of key, okay, but not directly. We will, once you log in, you'll be brought to a page which will describe the process. You'll be brought to a page. This page will describe to you the process of getting a key. Describe the process for getting a key. Now, I'm not going to describe that process in this session because I have a video on KMIT TV under My Lab, as I just described here, which me and my team have put together to describe how do you get a key which will give you access to this AMI. So let me just backtrack a little. You're a student. I'm assuming you're a student who has a PC and an internet connection, and you come to KMITtv.com. Once you go to KMITtv.com, you can go to My Lab. Once you go to My Lab, our lectures are also part of KMITtv.com, My Lecture. So you don't go there, or if you want to go there, you can hear this lecture. So then go to My Lab. Once you're in My Lab, you will have a lecture on, a video on, what is this My Lab initiative all about. Once you have that My Lab, hear this My Lab initiative, and I really recommend you do this at least once, there's a sign-in screen over here, which for the first time you will have to give your details and they'll get back to you with a password. So the next time you can sign in with that username and password. Once you have got there, you will see a process of getting a key. Please remember that the password which you have got here through this sign-in, through this registration, will not get you to that instance. These AMIs, or the Amazon Machine Instances, are not available through a password. They are available through a key. But in order to get a key, first you have to get a password from our site, log in into our site, go through this described process, which will get you a key. Now what is this key? This is a special credential key which will enable you to get to that AMI instance. So normally you will get this key. Now in my application, when I'm going to give you a demo, you will get a key like the key I'm going to use is the one which has been sent to me by Amazon, which is the final Amazon dot ppk, final Amazon n pk.ppk, that is the key. Now a similar key will be sent to you at the end of this process. Once you go through this process, a similar key will be sent to you. It may not be called final Amazon ppk, it may be called your username.ppk or something. So the assumption for this session is you have gone through this sign in process, you have done these instructions, and you have acquired a key and a username. So in order to get to Amazon, you need a key, you need to get a key. In addition, you need to have a username and you need to have an instance name. Okay, let me describe why you need these three pieces. I'm repeating. If you, after all this sign in and this process, you will have with you a key which we have sent you, a username which you have chosen, and an instance name which we have sent you. Now, what does this mean? Why do you need three things, and why is this process so complicated? By the way, this process is not complicated at all. Anybody who is an electronics graduate or a second year student or even a first year student, if he just blindly follows this process, he'll have these three things. The key comes from us, the username has been chosen from you, the instance name comes from us. Now, why do you need these three pieces of information? So I'm assuming that you will go through all this and get these three pieces. So let me now describe why do you need these three pieces. Okay. First, you require instance name, because remember, on an Amazon Elastic Cloud, all over the world, so many people are using this cloud. Each of these entities, let's say college A, college B, college C, will have their own AMIs. And how do I identify your AMI? How do I identify your Amazon machine instance? By the name of the instance. The name of the instance will be very big, but you need a name of the instance. For example, let's say there are students of JNTU, and then there are students of Pune University. So what I would do, I would create two AMIs, one for the JNTU students, one for the Pune University students, and then what I would do, I would give the if you're coming in as a student of Pune University, I would give you that instance name, and if you're coming in as a student of JNTU, I would give you the JNTU instance name. So that is how I would give the names of the instances. So instance name becomes very important. It identifies the actual instance or actual machine, virtual machine however, or actual AMI, which is to which you are going to get connected. Who runs this instance? KMIT runs this instance. For whom? For all of you students. So you need to know the instance name, which will be sent to you. Once you finish this process of registration, you will get this name of the instance. Now, you need a username and a password, obviously. Username protected by a password, which will be sent you. So I should actually say username and a password. Okay, now, let me explain. Some of you will ask a question. Instance name, I understand. I need an instance name because I want to identify that machine. But why do I need two things? Username and password and key. The reason I need these two things, two kinds of credentials, is username password gives you identity on the AMI, because several students will be connecting to the one AMI. For example, all students of KMIT, or for that matter other students of JNTU, they all will connect to this one AMI, to this one virtual Linux instance. And if they are all going to connect, we want all of you not to have collisions in your work. Each one of you will need his or her directory, and the directory is connected to your username password. It's just like in a Linux system, when you log in, don't you need a username password? That is that username password which you need for connecting to that Linux. In fact, I just made a mistake. We don't need the password. Actually, your key serves as a mechanism to authenticate, because we are using username authenticated by the key which we have given you. You don't need a password. I stand corrected. You need an instance name, you need a username, and you need a key. You don't need no password. If you require, we can also give you a password to connect to that system, but that is not really crucial. We will give you most probably a password, but that's not needed compulsorily for that. So, and then what is this key used for? Key basically is used because you're going to create an SSH session, a secure shell session, with the AMI. You're going to get into a secure shell session from your PC to the AMI, meaning you're going to get a shell opened onto an AMI instance which is going to run on an Amazon cloud, but it's a secure shell. Secure shell means whatever data that is going between you and the AMI is encrypted. And in order to provide that encryption, you require this key. So this key gives the mechanism for the encryption algorithm to carry your information and results back and forth between the AMI instance and your PC. So that is what you need. Now, here we are going to assume that I have a key. The key comes in a file, which is that final Amazon pk.ppk. So that is that file. Now this file, as I said, will be given to you by the process of registration. You will get this. Username is what you have chosen, but which has been approved. You will have that. So in our case, the key is going to be the Amazon ppk file, which I have got. My username is root, because I have root permissions on that. Your username will not be root. Most probably it will be your hall ticket number. So you have a username root, you have a key which we have sent you, and some username you'll have. I am using the username root, and I have the instance name. The instance name is going to be the same for you, me, and everybody else, because that is the instance to which all of us are going to connect. So we have a standard instance name, we have a key given to you by the KMID TV site, and we have a username which you have chosen and which has been ratified again by the KMID TV website. So in my case, the key is this, my username is root, and my instance name, I'm going to just share it with you. What is the instance name when I get connected? So, and last but not the least, we also need a special software to be installed on your PC. I mean, which is that software which is going to which you are going to provide this key, this instance name and username. You need a shell software. It's called PuTTY, PuTTY or PuTTY. This PuTTY is a free domain software. You go to Google and download this software. It won't take more than 5 minutes, even with the slowest connection, to install the PuTTY software. And in fact, you will have to install the PuTTY software even in order to get the key, because as our KMID TV process will describe to you, the page which I just talked about, they will ask you to use PuTTY to do certain steps. So we are going to assume that PuTTY is already installed, otherwise we will never reach this stage. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use PuTTY, I'm going to use this key, I'm going to use this username, I'm going to use this instance name, all of these, which all will be supplied to you through email and all that. And we are going to connect and run an instance on, not run an instance, the instance is always running. It will be running 24 hours a day, 25 hours a day, whatever, and it will always be available. Now, I didn't speak yet about another advantage which the cloud is going to bring to the table is, we are going to have soon the Professor on Call feature at KMID TV. So the KMID TV has a feature called POC, Professor on Call. Now what does it mean? It means that, suppose I am at home. Let's build this scenario. I am at home. I connected through PuTTY to this instance. Now I am developing a program. Somewhere in the program I have got stuck, or I have doubts. Now what happens is, well, there are two things which can happen. A, I just give up and go back to sleep, one way. Second way is, I need somebody's help. I need experienced help from KMID TV in order to solve my problem. So what do? I immediately get onto the POC, give my student name, and say, I want a professor in Java, because he's going to help me do the problem, solve the problem. So I say, now, there are two situations which can happen here. I entered into the Professor on Call, and I am looking for Java professors. Now, it is possible that if it is 2 o'clock in the night, there are no Java professors from KMID available. And it's also possible that you are at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or 6 o'clock in the evening, or 8 o'clock in the evening, and there is really a Java professor available. Now if Java professor is available in the Professor on Call session, well, you immediately establish a dialogue with him. You can establish a dialogue using chat, or if you like your voice, and you want to talk to it, which is more comfortable way, you can start talking with the professor and establish a session. So now, what happens? I'm assuming that you went to KMIT TV, you have a problem with a file. Okay, just stepping back a little, you have started developing a program in your directory, and let me call it, for lack of better name, as prog.c. I have prog.java. This is the program which is in my directory, on which I am working, on which I am getting a bunch of compilation errors, or I am simply stuck for some reason. And I went to KMIT TV, asked for a professor on Java, and I got one. And let's say there is a professor available currently on Java. Now, if he has to, I entered into a dialogue. I did my hi, hello, how's the weather kind of talk. Once I've done this, and I've established my initial dialogue with the professor, I told the professor, hey, I am having this problem with one of my programs, which are right now in program.java. Can you help me solve the problem? So the professor, what he would do is, he would ask you for your username. He would have root access. Obviously, all professors of KMIT TV would have root access on the instance, on the AMI instance. They would travel to once you give the username and the file name, they would travel to your home directory or your designated directory and start taking a look at prog.java. So they would be seeing exactly the same file that you're seeing on your PC. And then they would start looking at it and say what probably is wrong, and give you tips and comments on how you would go about rectifying it. Now, two things may happen. They may enter your directory and make a change themselves to show you how it works, or they may just talk to you and see what changes are being made, and then say, oh, okay, go ahead, now looks okay, so execute it. Now that is what we call a very fulfilling doubt solving session, and that hasn't happened before ever. And remember, you are at home, possibly the professor also is at home, but both of you are working cooperatively in a very proper manner to realize your programming objectives. Now, at the moment, the question which may be topmost in your mind is, oh, do I need to pay this professor? Well, honestly, at some stage you will have to make a payment to KMIT for the usage of this professor, but currently, in order to just get you addicted to this facility, we are making the professors available to you free of cost for a limited amount of time, and then depending on the success and your satisfaction, you can then enter into a subscription model where you could then ask for my professors anytime, and as long as they are available, they will be there to help you and get your doubts sorted. So the advantage of cloud becomes manifold now. Not only are you getting my professors, but they are getting to see the work that you're doing and giving you advice on the work that you're doing. Okay, so I'm not going to be demonstrating Professor on Call right now. I'm going to just talk about how do you compile a program on the cloud, how do you get to the cloud, having got the key, the username, and the instance name. Please remember, my username at this stage is root, and my instance name is what I got through the mail, but I'm not going to show that process. I'm going to assume we have these three things and go to the Amazon instance and show you how to compile a small Java program. Okay? So now let's look at, I am on a PC. So let's simulate the student situation. So we are assuming, as I repeated earlier, we are on a PC which is connected to an internet with a reasonably fast internet connection. Then we also have access to the username, which is in our case going to be root. We have a key which has been sent to us by the KMIT TV website, and 3, we know the instance name. Now we are going to assume this stuff. So let's just look at this file hostname.txt, which is just going to give us some data. Now this is the in this case we are just showing you a string. This consists of 2 parts. This part is called the instance name. Now I'm sure this is very difficult for you to remember, but just to give you an understanding what this is AmazonWebServices.com. This is part of that. Compute One is the computing platform of Amazon Web Services on which our instance is running. And then EC2 stands for Elastic Computing 2. And what you see here is the given IP address of our instance. So just to ensure that you don't think of this as Greek and Latin, this is an IP address of a machine, of an AMI running on the Amazon cloud, which has been dedicated to us. Now, will it be different for students? It may be if we change the instance, but more or less, once we freeze the instance, the address will remain the same. But over time, maybe if we need extra instances and all that, we'll be communicating that other instance name. Now, at this stage, we'll be logging in as root, but you will not log in as root. You will log in as the username with which you have registered on the KMIT site. So let's see how we are going to use this to connect to Amazon. So the first thing you need is you need to use the PuTTY. So in the PuTTY, basically one of the things you might want to do is PuTTY is a tool which is a free open software tool through which you connect to our AMI, the Amazon instance. Now the first step you need to do is go to the SSH part of your PuTTY. The moment you click on PuTTY, it opens up with its configuration screen. So you go to SSH part of your PuTTY, and once you do that, go to the authentication subsection in SSH. Now it's going to ask you the private key file for authentication. This is the key file which we have given you, or the file which has come through the, or which has been generated through the process of registration and all that. So this is the key which has come through the process which I alluded to earlier. So we are assuming that you have a private key file which has been certified by us, and so we say browse. And in this, what we are going to look for? We're going to look for, I just told you that the primary key for me is in this file, so I'm going to pick that file, and we're going to say open. Before we go to this, so what we have done is we have put in the key, but we still need to identify the instance and provide our username. So we go to the session information. Now the session information consists of, it demands from us the login information and the IP address. So keep the SSH on. As we mentioned earlier, we are going to go through the secure shell connection to the Amazon instance. And now what we say is, we say root. We just take this string, we will copy paste it into the instance name, into the host name there. So that's what we are doing. Yeah. So we did that, and then we now say open. So we have identified the instance, and we have identified the basically username. So we are now onto the Amazon cloud. So here is how you reach the Amazon cloud. Now you can continue to work. So it's as if you are working on a Linux machine installed in your home, but please remember, there is no Linux in your home. We are on a Windows PC. We are connecting to a Linux instance at your Amazon on the cloud, and we have connected. Now if you want to change the appearance, by all means go ahead and you can change the appearance, but if you don't, we can go with this. So you could change settings. Can you just go back? So what you need to do is go there, go to the title bar, click, you'll get a menu there, and in that menu you will have change settings as an option. Go to change setting. You want to change the appearance a little bit, so this is how you do it. You want to change the font to a little bigger font, so let's make it a 14 size font. Let's make it bold. Okay, so we did that. Now you might also want to change the color of the background. So default background, we want to change the color. We want to modify it. We want to go for a white background. We say okay. So we have changed, by going to colors we have changed the default background, and we have by going to appearance we have changed the default font size. Now let's see whether this applies to our session. Okay, so we change the font, we have changed the background to black and the font to blue, and here we are. So this is how our screen is looking. As you can see, we have gone onto a Fedora 8, Fedora version 8, a 32-bit machine. and it's a public image, but that's why it's accessible to you. So now this instance has been specifically prepared for Java programming to enable you to do a lot of Java programming. Now because I logged in as root, I have straight away gone into the super user root directory. But if you log in as a username, you'll be automatically taken to your directory. So what I do now, those of you who are familiar with Linux, which I guess most of you are, I will say vi hello.java, hello.java. Now vi is a standard editor which I have on Linux, so I say vi hello.java. Next. So it opens up the editor for me. Now I'm going to write, without explaining, a very small tiny Java program with a main and with a system.out. So let's write it. Now I'm not going to talk about VI programming at this stage. So I'm just saying creating a class hello, because every program in Java is a class. So I say class hello. Please don't worry about the meaning of all this. We'll come back to that. The purpose of this discussion is only to show you how you compile on a cloud, how you get into a cloud. So I'm creating a class which is hello, and I'm creating a main method using the public static void main declaration. So don't worry too much about what is happening in this program. String array, not strings. Yeah. So here we go, writing the main. We'll say system.out.println, which is like your printf. System.out.println. Welcome to cloud computing, Amazon cloud computing. Yeah. We have said welcome to Amazon cloud computing, and that's it. And we are closing the main. Okay. And so here is my very small program which I have created on the cloud. Class hello, public static void main, system.out.println, whatever. Welcome to cloud computing. We have closed the bracket and we have closed the braces, outside braces too. Now we just say right quit in vi. So we are back to the command prompt, to the Linux command prompt. So we have a hello.java file. Now we are going to compile it using javac to create the bytecode. So hello javac hello.java, and we compile it, and we got no errors. So let's do a ls minus l hello star hello.star, and you will see two files, hello.java, which is our original file, hello.class, which is the compiled version of hello.java, which is the bytecode version. Remember, bytecode can't execute by itself. If I just say hello on the command prompt, let's try to do that. If I just say hello on the command prompt, it's going to say not found or something like that. Yeah. So because there is no executable, the hello.class is not an executable. In order to execute it, we have to invoke the virtual machine. How do I do that? I say Java, which invokes the virtual machine, and I say hello, and that's it. And it said welcome to Amazon cloud computing, and it executed. So if you notice, what we did is we created this program hello.java using the visual editor vi, which I'm sure everybody who has worked on Linux is well aware of this visual editor. We created it, then we compiled that hello.java to produce hello.class. We tried just executing it hello without invoking the virtual machine, and it said command not found. Then we said Java hello. When you say Java hello, the virtual machine gets invoked. It looks for the bytecode called hello.class. Remember, when the Java invokes, when the virtual machine invokes, it wants a hello.class, which it got. It executed it by going to the main, and we got welcome to Amazon Cloud Computing. Now this is the beauty of cloud computing. Now I have not gone and explained to you how hello.java works, because the objective of this session was primarily to tell you how to get onto the cloud and write a small program and execute it. Now while we are working with this program, if you get stuck on one of the line and you get a compilation error on this line, then what do you need to do? You need to save the file and on which you are getting some errors or you have some issues. Go to our professor on call system, engage with our professor, give him the name of the file and your username so he can get to your file, understand your problem, solve your problem. And this is how we are going to make you proficient in Java using the modern today's days technology, internet and cloud. So I think you will enjoy working onto the cloud immensely, and I do hope that this will be a very nice set of sessions with cloud and with at-home engagements. So let's stop at this session, and then in my next session I'll go deeper into the cloud, into the Java programming.